Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. It's Tuesday, so you got to put up with my attempt to sing. And I like a cappella, and to my daughter Tara out there, I love the old show tunes. This is from that movie Around the World in 80 Days. Around the world I've searched for you. I traveled on when hope was gone to keep a rendezvous. I knew somewhere, sometime, somehow, you'd look at me and I would see the smile you're smiling now. It might have been in County Down, or in New York, in gay Paris, or even London town. No more will I go all around the world, for I have found my world in you. I hope you all find your divine beloved and stop looking. First thing I want to share, of course, remember everything I feed back to yoga, which for me is a metaphor for all the practices that get you centered. But yoga to me is one of the original holistic practices. It's an ecology of practices. It recognizes that you're working on yourself and living life simultaneously on many fronts. You can't just be a specialist. Yoga's way, of course, is by working on your ethics, working on what your understanding of virtue and morality is, working on body postures, working on breath control, working on deep relaxation, and working on various meditative techniques, all which are reinforced by service, study, and surrender. Now, I have to admit, because as leader of me, I tell on myself, um, I certainly went through periods of my life where I was confused about how life works. I made choices that was in the opposite direction of what I was really aiming for. I even mistreated other people, and therefore I was also really unkind to myself. Even though whatever I did seemed to make sense at the time, even though it gave me a distorted picture of reality. But then I realized I'm living some kind of endless preparation for something that never takes place. And by not being in my natural state, by not being me, by not being free to express who I am, there was a certain kind of inauthenticity about my life. I kept pursuing things as if I was a nobody, and my pursuit of whatever it is I thought I was going to become would make me a somebody. So that's what I learned the phrase from Joseph Chilton Pearce, that the ego wants image verification in the eyes of others. But as Don Juan says, the warrior wants impeccability in their own eyes. So I have to learn to shut off what's called the roof brain chatter, or is going on in your head, the internalized speech, and I learned to have what I call unbending intent, to override the cultural dominance that would keep me in the world of folly. Mammon, as the Bible calls it, or Maya, the world of appearance and the illusory effect that it has because you don't see through it, behind it, deeper into it. And so that left my ego alienated and despairing. And deep down, I knew there's no technological fix. And I discovered this before there were cell phones, before there were computers, before there was the internet. I stopped looking. Outsiders like to say, you're still looking to Washington for leadership? Developing your intelligence and using your intelligence to become more intelligent comes from interactions with what they call concrete operations, stuff that you actually do on the material plane, heuristic. You find out for yourself. And that's why I always talk about going for joy. You practice a dominant vibration in your mindset, and you pick thoughts that will serve you. In other words, you have to practice feeling good. Practice good feeling vibrations. Now, some people say, well, how can you go there? The world's going to hell in a handbasket. It's amazing that people are more willing to allow pain than they are joy. They'll put a limit on their joy, but they won't put a limit on their pain. So I'm going to suggest that you stop that and you pick a practice or an art form that enables you to dive deep and get nourished by that, instead of putting your thoughts on what's unwanted and then having the law of attraction bring that back into your life. Have a great day.